now we are finding out using the Biot-Savart law, we are trying to find out, obtain the expression for magnetic field intensity due to a current carrying state conductor of finite or infinite. So this is our subject of discussion today. Now here I will just quickly ask you to recollect that you know that Biot-Savart law. What was Biot-Savart law? The Biot-Savart law was Biot-Savart law. Remember, that is equals to, that is dB is equals to mu I dl sine theta divided by 4 pi r square. So this was your Biot-Savart law. This we have already discussed and you know it. Now what I will do in order to prove it, I will just consider a small straight part or small straight conductor of length dl over here. So let me just consider a small part over here. Okay, so let me just consider it over here so that you can understand. Fine. So I consider, and this I can quite visible. This is actually blue in color. So next, if I name it, so let me name it as say P and Q. And the length of this PQ I have taken is at dl. Now over here, this PQ will be making an angle, and let me take this point as suppose M. So the PQ will be actually making an angle, say d phi with the, will making an angle of d phi with M. So let me just draw this over here. Say this is one of the line I have drawn, and the other line I have drawn, and let this be d phi. So you can understand this way also, that if I consider that this particular conductor, the lower end of this particular small strip is making an angle phi with the line of reference which we have taken. Let me take write it as Mn. So as we are gradually moving from Q to P by a distance of dl, the angle is also being increased by d phi. Now according to Biot-Savart law, you remember that we told that dB is equals to mu I dl sine theta. So how can I take this? This is suppose if I look into this, let this angle be theta. So if I consider this angle to be theta, so what can I say? So from here, I can obviously say that theta, 90 and phi, they will maintain a relationship. So I can write that theta plus phi is equal to 90 degree. So therefore we can say theta equals to 90 minus phi. So if I replace this value of theta in this equation of dB, what shall I get? So dB is equals to therefore mu I dl sine theta, that instead of sine theta, which is sine of 90 minus phi divided by 4 pi r square. This is the current, actually the directed, we have taken the current directed like this. So this is the direction of our current. So you can take, this is the current I which is flowing through this particular conductor. So what is mu ideal sine 90 minus phi? Because sine 90 minus phi is cos phi. So I can obviously take dB is equals to mu I dl. Instead of sine 90 minus phi, I can write cos of phi. This is cos of phi divided by 4 pi r square. So this is the value of dB we have got. Let me take this equation to be equation number 1. Now children, one thing you should understand, what should be this angle? Can I write this angle to be 90 degree, because this is over here 90 degree. So this is phi plus d phi. So again, according to angle sum property, this will be 90 minus phi plus d phi, which we can take nearly equal to 90 minus phi. So now what I do, I drop a perpendicular over here and let this, the foot of the perpendicular be equal, this be maybe the L, this point is L. Now you can see over here, I can tell that sine of this particular angle 90 minus phi, according to the basic law of trigonometry or basic formula of trigonometry, that is equals to QL, that is equals to QL by PQ. Sin 90 minus phi is equals to cos phi. And what is QL? I will just write QL over here. And what is PQ? PQ equals to DL. So children, we have come to a very, very interesting relation that we can obviously write QL is equals to DL cos of phi. So this is a very, very important relation. You have to, I'll just keep it. This will be required. Now I consider another triangle, that is triangle, this triangle, that is QLM. So if I consider triangle QLM, what can I get? So if I just consider the triangle over here, just triangle QLM, can I say that sine of d phi, sine of d phi, that will be equal to QL, that is perpendicular, and let me take this distance to be R, so this will be equals to QL by R. Can I take that? So this is equals to QL by R. So that means since d phi is sine, d phi is very small, so this is nearly equal to d phi. So we have arrived another important conclusion or expression for QL. We can easily write QL is equals to therefore R into d phi. So this is another very, very important relationship, and we'll preserve this also. This is also very, very important. Now I just equate this one and equate this one. So let me equate in the next page. So we have already got QL is equals to, we have got as DL cos phi. QL equals to, we have got DL cos phi, and we have also got QL equals to R d phi. So if I just use this and I now replace in the equation of Biot-Savart equation which we have got, that is mu I dl cos phi divided by 4 pi r square. So what can I get? Can I not replace this dl cos phi as r d phi over here? So I'll get mu I r d phi divided by 4 pi r square. So r and r gets cancelled. So you are left with dB is equals to mu I d phi by 4 pi r. So you have got this dB. Now children, I quickly turn the page and you please see once again the particular diagram over here. Now I'll just request you to look into the diagram of triangle QNM. In this QNM, what can I write about cos phi? Can I write in this triangle of QNM? I can write, if I write it over here, so this will be equals to, that is very, very interesting, we'll get, that is cos phi will be equals to, I can obviously write base is your A by perpendicular, base by hypotenuse, that is A upon R. So we can write R is equals to therefore A upon cos phi. So this is R equals to A upon cos phi. So I replace this R equal to A upon cos phi in this particular equation. So I replace R equal to A by cos phi in this particular equation. So what shall I get? I will get over here, I will just write it over here only. So this dB will be equals to mu I by 4 pi A by cos phi will go to the numerator d phi. Am I clear to all of you? So this is the dB portion we have got. So now we have to integrate basically. So dB is equals to, we have got mu I by 4 pi A into cos phi d phi. Now children, I'll just like you to understand one important thing. So we are actually doing the magnetic field due to a current carrying conductor of finite length, isn't it? So initially we are doing for finite length. So let me consider a conductor like this. Say for example, I'm considering a conductor like this. So if it is a conductor like this and I want to find out the magnetic field due to this finite conductor at a point, suppose M, which we had been doing just now. So I want to find out the magnetic field at this particular point M. Now this is your conductor. Okay, this is your conductor. Let me consider this to be the XY to be the conductor. Now one important thing you can say, this is a current carrying conductor through which current I is passing. You may take this way. So current I is passing through this particular conductor. Now the top part of the conductor, that means the upper end of the conductor, will be subtending a particular angle over here. So this is subtend a certain angle, and y part or y end of the conductor will be also subtending a certain angle. So if I just take, this is phi 1, so this will be my phi 2. So this is the finite, we are considering a conductor of finite length. We are considering a conductor of finite length where the upper part is subtending an angle phi 1. This is conductor of finite length we are considering when the upper part is subtending an angle phi 1 and the lower part is subtending an angle phi 2. So now what I do, I use this particular equation which I have just now got, that is dB is equals to mu I by 4 pi a cos phi. So let me just use it over here. So just I'll use it over here. So it will be equals to mu I by 4 pi a cos phi d phi. Now if I integrate it in order to find out the total magnetic field due to this conductor of finite length. So this will be mu I by 4 pi a integration of cos phi d phi. Now children, here you have to take actually the lower limit over here, because if I consider this to be my line of reference, so this is phi 2 is below it and phi 1 is above it. So let me take this as minus phi 2 and this I will take as plus phi 1. So what you will be getting as the B therefore you will be getting as mu I by 4 pi a integration of cos phi, that is equals to sin phi, and within limit minus phi 2 to plus phi 1. So if I put the value over here, we'll be getting mu I by 4 pi a, that is sine of phi 1 sine of phi 2 minus of sine of minus of this is phi 1, sorry. So this is minus of minus phi 2. So what shall you get? If I write it clearly, minus and minus becomes plus. So the final expression for the magnetic field due to this particular current carrying conductor, finite conductor, this expression can be now written as something like this. So I can easily write it, that is finite length, that is yes, we can write the magnetic field B is equals to, this is very important formula you have derived, that is mu I by 4 pi a into bracket sine of phi 1 plus sine of phi 2. So this is the final expression that you have got. Is it clear to all of you? So this is a very important formula we have derived. So I can write it once again. B is equals to mu I by 4 pi a into sine of phi 1 plus sine of the angle subtended by the lower part. So sine of phi 1 plus sine of phi 2. So this is your magnetic field intensity. Am I clear to all of you? So this is the magnetic field intensity due to a finitely long current carrying conductor. But if I want to find for an infinitely long current conductor, so for an infinitely long current carrying conductor, for an infinitely long current carrying conductor, the phi 1 will be equal to phi 1 will be equals to phi 2 equals to 90 degree. So phi 1 equals to phi 2 equals to 90 degree, because as the distance, the size of the length of the conductor will go on increasing, you will find that phi 1 and phi 2 will be tending towards 90 degree. So your magnetic field B will be equals to mu I by 4 pi a bracket sine of 90 degree plus sine of 90 degree. Now sine of 90 is 1, 1 plus 1 is 2. So you directly get the formula as magnetic field intensity is equals to mu I by 4 pi a into 2. So 2 and 2 gets cancelled. So magnetic field B is equals to, therefore you are getting as mu I by 2 pi a. So this is a very important formula we have derived today, that is magnetic field intensity due to a finitely long current carrying conductor That formula we have derived, and due to an infinitely long current carrying conductor, that formula also